Keely Hodgkinson just did something no one has done in 24 years. She broke a world record that stood since the day she was born. But here's what makes it even more insane. She's still missing one major title from her career, and now the biggest test of her dominance is about to begin. For 24 years, the women's indoor 800-meter world record stood untouched. Set by Jolanda Čeplak in 2002, it had survived generations of middle-distance talent. It was the kind of mark that athletes respected from a distance, something that felt just out of reach. But on February 19, 2026, in northern France, that record was finally broken, and it was broken decisively. Hodgkinson did not sneak past the record, she destroyed it. From the gun, the race unfolded with controlled aggression. Hodgkinson settled into position early, calm and composed, never looking rushed. Her stride was smooth, her rhythm locked in. There was no panic, no wasted movement. This was not a desperate chase. This was a calculated execution. By the halfway point, it was clear something special was happening. The pace was fast, but Hodgkinson looked comfortable. While others around her began to tighten, she remained relaxed. Her posture stayed tall. Her cadence stayed efficient. Every step looked intentional. Then came the final lap. This is where great runners separate themselves. And this is where Hodgkinson elevated herself into another category entirely. As the bell rang, she surged. Not wildly, not out of control, but with precision. She increased the tempo in a way that broke the race open. Competitors who had been within striking distance suddenly found themselves fading. Hodgkinson was not just leading, she was pulling away. Down the final straight, the only thing left to race was the clock. The crowd rose as one, sensing history. Hodgkinson drove forward, arms pumping, legs turning over with relentless speed. There was no glance behind her, no hesitation. She crossed the line with complete commitment. And then came the time, 1:54.87. A new world record. In that instant, a connection across time became impossible to ignore. The previous record had been set on March 3, 2002. That was the exact day Keely Hodgkinson was born. For more than 2 decades, that mark stood as a benchmark of excellence. And now, the athlete born on the day it was set had become the one to break it. It is the kind of detail that sounds almost scripted. But in sport, moments like this remind everyone why people watch. Because sometimes, reality delivers stories that feel larger than fiction. But this performance did not come out of nowhere. Hodgkinson has been building toward this moment for years. Her rise through the ranks of middle-distance running has been defined by consistency, resilience, and an ability to perform under pressure. From a young age, she showed signs of something special. But talent alone does not produce world records. It takes discipline. It takes refinement. It takes an understanding of how to manage the smallest details. Over time, Hodgkinson developed into one of the most complete 800-meter runners in the world. Her racing style blends tactical awareness with raw speed. She knows when to sit, when to move, and when to commit. That balance is rare, especially in an event as unforgiving as the 800 meters. The 800 meters sits in a unique space in athletics. It demands the endurance of a distance runner and the speed of a sprinter. There is no room for error. Go out too hard and the final stretch becomes a struggle. Go out too slow and the race is already lost. Every decision matters. Hodgkinson has mastered that balance. Her Olympic success confirmed her status as one of the best in the world. Winning gold on the biggest stage in sport requires more than physical ability. It demands composure, especially when the stakes are at their highest. Hodgkinson proved she could handle that pressure, but even with Olympic gold, there was still something missing. The World Indoor Championships. For many athletes, indoor competition plays a different role. The tracks are tighter, the races are more tactical, positioning becomes even more critical. And for Hodgkinson, this stage has been frustratingly out of reach. In previous years, injuries forced her to withdraw. Each time she built momentum, something interrupted the process. Each time she prepared for the championship stage, circumstances kept her away. That kind of pattern can test any athlete. It creates doubt. It raises questions about timing and opportunity. because in elite sport, chances are never guaranteed. But instead of letting those setbacks define her, Hodgkinson used them as fuel. She returned stronger, sharper, more focused. And now, in 2026, everything has aligned. She arrives at the World Indoor Championships in Poland not just as a contender, but as the clear favorite. The world record has shifted expectations. She is no longer chasing the field. The field is chasing her. That changes everything. Every competitor lining up against her knows exactly what she is capable of. They have seen the time. They have studied the race. They understand that if Hodgkinson runs at her best, beating her becomes an enormous challenge. But championships are never decided on paper. That is what makes this moment so compelling. Because now, Hodgkinson must translate that record-breaking performance into a championship victory, and those are two very different challenges. A fast race is one thing, a tactical championship race is another. In Liévin, the conditions were perfect for speed. The pacing was ideal. The environment allowed for an all-out performance. But championship racing often looks very different. The pace can be uneven. The positioning can become crowded. The race can slow down before exploding in the final stages. That unpredictability introduces risk, and that is where experience matters. Hodgkinson has shown that she can handle different race scenarios. She is not dependent on one style. She can lead. She can sit behind. She can respond to moves. That versatility is one of her greatest strengths. Still, the pressure will be intense. Being the favorite brings expectation. It brings attention. Every move is analyzed. Every decision is scrutinized. There is no hiding from it. But if her performance in Liévin revealed anything, it is that Hodgkinson is ready for this moment. She is no longer just a promising talent. She is the standard. And that shift is significant. Because once an athlete becomes the standard, the goal changes. It is no longer about proving you belong. It is about proving you can stay there. That is a different challenge entirely. The World Indoor Championships in Poland now represent more than just another race. They represent an opportunity to complete a missing piece of her career, to turn potential into completion, to take a record-breaking season and add a global title to it. For Hodgkinson, this is about finishing what has been started. Years of preparation, years of setbacks, years of growth, all leading to this moment. And the timing could not be more powerful, because she arrives not as someone hoping things go right, but as someone who has already shown exactly what she can do when everything clicks. That confidence matters. In a race that can be decided by fractions of a second, belief can make the difference. As the championship approaches, the focus will intensify. The spotlight will grow brighter.